What's up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and once again, we are here and we're ready to say for the greater because I'm sitting next to
Gershwan.
Yeah, that's right.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below the question in front of your question because we get those questions first. That is what M. Bop did. He asks, no, it went away. Oh, no, there it is. Do you think Thunderwarriors will ever be brought back to get proper models or get proper models? Unfortunately, no. As far as we know, there is either 30 or 300, I can't remember which number, of Thunder Warriors that actually survived. And even if you go by the fact that, like, Thunder Warriors, just like Space Marines, are biologically immortal, I don't think they would have survived to the 42nd millennium.
What about the ones in Trazian's vaults?
Those are just chilling, though. They're kind of like in suspended animation.
Oh, I like those words.
Mm-hmm. But even then, it would just be like it's like a unit, basically. And I think that is good for a story. It's not actual, like, tabletop readiness type of situation. Blackstone Fortress would be perfect for that. But I don't think we're going to see that in 40K.
Right. Because I feel like with everything that's happening with 40K, it's like they're trying to put out models that help advance the story.
Right.
Thunder Warriors are a thing of the past. They're not going to get a model. But, like you mentioned, Blackstone Fortress, Zotes were a thing of the past. Now you got a Zote.
Yeah, so like if we saw a Thunder Warrior clanking around somewhere in the Blackstone Fortress, I think that would add like a real cool twist to it.
Yeah.
Because it's like...
How do they get there?
Yeah.
Right.
Because normally you think Thunder Warriors, you think they're dumber, more brutish than Space Marines. So why would they be trying to go to the... That seems like a higher level thinking.
Right.
That's like big brain stuff.
But that is true. Whenever I think of Thunder Warrior, I think of like 80s shades with like really like almost like football gear.
Yeah, basically like Batista from Blade Runner, the newest one. If you guys ever watched that one, the intro where the Blade Runner goes and he tries to kill Batista. That's what I think of a Thunder Warrior. Very, very strong, but ultimately just dumb.
Right, because he's like an old... Well, that's getting into the whole Blade Runner stuff.
Yeah.
This ain't the channel for it.
Right.
I was a little older model right there.
Yeah.
It happens. What if like that was a thing like in the far-flung future? Like people get like all these like implantations, bionic eyes, flesh is weak type of mindset, and like we have like those freaking like we have to crank the key in our backs.
That would be cool, like Hellboy with the guy with the blades.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. I'm down.
But it's like you have all these like futuristic things, but you're kind of held back by the friggin' cranking of it.
You're probably like 500 though. So it's one of those situations where you have to ask yourself, would I want to live like an infinite life, but have those, what did you call them? Like imperfections or whatever?
Yeah.
Like have that disability, but still live to 1,000 or 100 or 500? Or would I rather die in my 60s full health and no type of disabilities? My choice is live to 1,000 with disabilities.
You see, the more I think about it, I don't think humans can handle it. Mentally, I don't think living past like 200 is like healthy.
Well, so because I also think that the progression of mental health would probably go hand in hand with the progression of just your life.
I would hope so.
Yeah, so like it's not like you're like nowadays where you reach like 80 or 90. Well, no, if you reach 80 or 90, most of the time they're pretty okay.
Yeah.
But like people who reach like 60 and they start getting Alzheimer's, they start getting Parkinson's and like all that, and like things with their mind start going off. I think that technology, in healthcare, would probably facilitate that. Like it seems like every year I read an article that talks about like, oh, there's like new things found about Alzheimer's. It's like we're learning about the mind. So I think eventually when we
evolve to that point.
Yeah, like when we reach the Adeptus Mechanicus level, where like the Fabricator General has lived for 10,000 years. Well, he hasn't. But like Belisarius Cawl has lived for 10,000 years. and his mind has also been preserved because of this similar, or like because of technologies as well. And then in that case, of course, I want to live to 10,000 years. What about you?
No.
Oh, why?
Not at all. Because it's like, yeah, you want to see what happens, but like having everything you knew, you see grow, age, wither, and die. It's like, now I gotta like do that all over again. Should I even make the effort to do it all over again? Like, because let's say you decided to do that. But let's say your significant other says no.
Right.
I want to go with my humanity the way, way I was intended to, quote unquote.
Yeah, I could just force her, but no.
Nanobots.
There you go. What are they called? Scarabs?
Or just create a mechanical construct in the image
Of her, yeah.
And it would never be her. Kind of like in Blade Runner.
Oh,
you
yeah.
have the whole, what was it, the artificial intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, she gets a surrogate human to, like...
yeah, so it'd be like that.
We're going to become a Blade Runner channel now.
But you know what? Maybe that is, like, the next level in our intelligence. So, like, we finally see the, like... us and like the connections that we have in society, since they go away, like you reach a completely different understanding or a higher understanding of like what society is.
But I feel like that's going to take away from humanity, because at what point is something not considered a human, or just because you put human traits on this unliving thing, is that considered human? And it's like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the next elevation to humanity. You go beyond human, because those experiences, you will be the first human, if you are the first human. Or, like, you would be the first human to experience the death of everyone you knew in your first life. Like, what that does to a person's mind that's healthy, right? That's, like, right now.
right.
Must be, like, elevating you to a completely different thing.
You would hope so, but I feel like not everybody can handle that trauma.
That's also true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that...
it's like, I've lived 1,000 lives and I've seen everybody die, and it's time for like me to go out. But seeing their lives not have any impact on the world, I'm gonna do something big that leaves an impact.
Yeah.
Kind of like Belisarius Call.
Right. With Primaris Marines?
Well, that in general, but like his teachings were very heretical, and it's like now I think he doesn't even care if it's considered heresy or not. He's doing it to prove to himself that I can create something better than like the Emperor.
Yeah, and I think eventually, like if humanity's progress is that way, we will have a Belisarius Call. Like who just said, like we will have Coach Van Dyers as well, but we will also always have like Belisarius Calls who use that power for good, even though it's considered heretical in like 40K terms because of the church, but like it's good for humanity in a way. So yes, I would want to be Belisarius Call.
Was that even the question? Like, where do we go?
Yeah, I think so. I think at the end of the day, that's what he was trying to ask.
Are you Belisarius Call?
Yeah. I want to live forever. This is a really good one by backwards R POC pi A B and pi again.
Struggled for B.
Well, because it's like a lowercase b, but not really.
Oh, okay.
He says best 40K waifu.
It's a lowercase b, but it's capital. What the heck?
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's both at the same time.
I can't understand.
See, he's already Belisarius Call. He's living in a completely different world.
Right.
Called Eastern Europe. Best 40K waifu.
Belisarius Call.
Yeah, definitely. Tentacles.
Oh, they're called mecha tendrils?
Sorry.
Let me see. I gotta think about that one. Because at first I want to be like Shadow Sun. But, I mean, she's got a nose now. She didn't have a nose before.
I know, it's annoying.
Because it's almost cat-like, like feline. But they're supposed to be like fish people, but they got hooves.
How did that not raise flags when the modeler sculpted that face? Like,
Maybe that's gonna be the new like thing.
That's a big thing.
Noses.
Yeah, for a faction that does not have noses, now they have noses. Like you would think that they want to put out like a statement. Hey, by the way, our communists have noses now. But yeah,
Yeah.
So
No, not Shadowsun. I'm gonna go with pretty much any Eldar Farseer.
I feel like they would be too like sassy. I don't want something that's gonna be like sassy. I want more control.
Well, I mean, because they're gonna look down on you. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's like, we were at the height of everything. Look at you, lowly humans.
Yeah, that does not turn me on. Also, they're sticks.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, that's also does not.
But
turn
that's
me
also
on.
because of their like hollow bones and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they it is said that when a human sees an Eldar like move, it's almost like
Right.
a hologram.
It's like every time. What's her name? The
Bridget B.
close. The girl, the Alvin girl princess in the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I
Yeah.
don't know her name, but I know. Who
Like
you're
whenever
talking
you saw her, it's like graceful and it's like a white background and sereneness and stuff like that.
about. Exactly. Yeah, I don't think I would be turned on by that.
But that just kind of puts you at ease, calm.
Yeah, I agree. It put me at ease when I was watching Lord of the Rings. I fell asleep afterwards. Yeah, I think I would just do like a Tau Earth cast because thickness and they already follow orders. So
It's like build that Tau battlesuit.
yeah, Bob the Builder.
Mm-hmm.
Good question.
Yeah,
This is what we think about most days.
most days.
Next question comes from The Outsider. Are there any vampire factions in 40K? No faction in the 40K tabletop, but there is vampires in the galaxy. They're called vampires. They're warp vampires.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just exist in the ash wastes of the warp. Sometimes they come out into the immaterium, but they don't really suck blood. They suck psychic energy.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, a warp vampire. My psychic energy actually comes from.
Sucking something else.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they don't look like the traditional vampires, where they're supposed to be elegant. They look hideous.
Yeah. Blood Angels, that's what I was going to say. Blood Angels are the closest things to playing vampires on the tabletop. They've got the Red Thirst, the Black Rage. They drink blood. It's part of their daily life.
Yeah. It's a disease.
If you look at like Mephiston, he's all pale, very vampiric looking.
Yep. Next question comes from Anime San. Why you both so damn good looking? Because we really can't read, so what we can't do in that field, we make up in another.
Apparently we can't speak or explain.
Exactly, yeah. And yet we have a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that like the epitome of what everything in 40K or everything on the internet is? Oxymorons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next question.
Sam Roberts. With the animated 40K series hopefully coming out soon, are there any storylines that you guys know about, or what would you like to see? I'll say it a billion times, and I'll say it a billion times more. Make an animation for the War in Heaven. Yeah. I want to see the grand scale, the epic battles, the Necron tier becoming Necrons and being tricked by the C'tans, freaking star cannons, weapons that can obliterate like planets. I want to see it.
Exodia.
Yes, obliterate.
We do know for sure, though, that the anime-looking one is going to cover some Rogue Trader and Assassins.
Mm-hmm.
It would be really nice to see some type of like connection to the Night Hunter.
Yes, that'd be pretty cool.
Because it was an assassin that killed, or supposedly killed him, so it'd be nice to like tell that story.
Right. And there's also another one for the Blood Angels. That animation is more like CGI looking, but it's made by the guy who did Hell's Reach, so I'm hoping it's just as good.
It probably will be.
Yeah.
It's coming out soon, I think, right?
Well, they've been kind of teasing it for a few months, so hopefully soon.
Yeah. This question comes from Tin Man 40,000. How feared are the Space Marines compared to other horrors of the 40K universe? It depends on the chapter and it depends on where you are, but yes, they're very feared. We were just talking about Blood Angels, and a successor chapter of the Blood Angels is the Flesh Terrors. and they are notorious for going into like planets, and then people just go missing.
Yeah.
And then they find them like completely drained of blood. And obviously, it's the flesh terrors.
And on more than one occasion, the Inquisition's been like, these guys have to be chaos. But apparently not chaos enough. This one's by Mr. Fell. What is the backstory on Bridget B? And also, how much pee can one person possibly hold in the ball sack?
I mean, what backstory would you like to know? It's Bridget B.
Yeah.
Look it up.
There's plenty of stories that you can, thumb through.
Yeah. She has the best performance of all of the Bridgets in the B-verse.
Beavers?
Yeah, like Cardi B, Brian B.
B movie.
And then what was the other question?
How much pee can be stored in the balls? If you remember high school, maybe probably even middle school, the milk cartons, stop thinking about that because that is completely wrong. It's more like the like a White Claw, about that amount.
Okay, wow, that's a lot.
Well, I mean, because when you're holding it in there, it's almost like metaphysical, where the actual sack can like move and dilute, almost fluid in nature. Because I mean, whatever object water is in, water becomes, right?
Yep. So wait, so is it cylindrical?
I mean, if you have cylindrical balls.
Maybe. I've never really touched them. I usually just fuse them into my body. Get checked up. Do self-examinations every day. Make sure that they're not cylindrical. Or if they're supposed to be cylindrical, then
right. More
power to you.
Find out what's normal with you and go from there.
Yeah. Don't let your doctor tell you.
Are you really going to believe somebody else to tell you what you're supposed to be?
Exactly. Next question comes from Propane55. When and how do you think Vulcan will come back and the effects he will have upon his arrival?
It makes sense that somebody with the name Propane is talking about Vulcan.
Propane and propane accessories.
Well, I'll tell you what. Vulcan is not going to come back until his 9 relics are found.
Yeah.
That's kind of his whole shtick, his whole story. Mm-hmm. I think they've got, 3 or 4? Spear of Vulcan, the Mantle, the Power Fist, and the Barge, I believe. And that's 3 or 4. I can't math.
Yeah. And I think they're saving him up for the end.
He is one of the more popular Primarchs, it seems.
Kinda, yeah. You think so?
I'd think so, yeah.
He's definitely more popular than Jagatai Khan, and I think what they were trying to do is like make Jagatai Khan a little bit more popular.
Jagatai Khan is popular because fast armies are good currently.
Right, that's what I mean. Like they try to make him so like maybe if we start seeing flamers get buffed, that's when we know flamers and forged weapons because that's what he's known for.
Mm-hmm. Hammers,
sickles.
Sickles.
I don't know. Sickle cell. Next question comes from Brian B. It seems like you never clean your carpet. When was the last time you did? No, never.
Never?
Nope.
Dang. So the previous owners of the house were the last ones who cleaned it?
Yeah. I talked about this last week. The reason that I don't clean it is because there's some bits that are lodged in the carpet. Next question.
This one's by Bearded1337. Is that a Halo Master Chief reference? In this video, you said that you believe Abaddon will become a demon eventually. Do you think he will ascend to that, or Dracnian will take over him? That's actually, never thought about that, but that's really cool to have Dracnian, the demon blade, or the demon bound in the blade, perhaps maybe the first demon ever, actually overcome his, I guess, imprisonment and take over Abaddon. That would be really cool.
My hope would be that happens, but we'll see what GW does.
Yeah, because that would be really, really bad for the Imperium because, spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1, Dracnian is unkillable. The Emperor could not kill Dracnian. So to have Abaddon be unkillable and to always be a thorn on the side of the Imperium, that would be great.
Yeah, that would be end times right there.
Essentially becoming what Horus could not.
Which seems to happen a lot. The Primarchs are all talked up, and then no. This will be the last question, and it comes from Wrath the Koi. What if the Emperor is slowly becoming the Chaos God of Malice? Had me thinking since the Custodes attacked the squad of Primaris Marines on the Sisters of Battle ship. No, I don't think that GW does anything or wants to do anything with Malice, and the Emperor and the Imperium already embodies Malice. Like, it's supposed to be the renegade god, so he is the renegade against chaos, humanity. Like, the opposition of chaos is obviously humanity. So he already kind of is, but he's just not going to get the name.
Right. And the whole thing with the Custodes, taking on a whole Primaris chapter isn't to be like, oh, look at them, they're fighting against their own kind, they're the bad guys. No. The Primaris see the Space Marines as too self-sufficient. They don't honor their intended purpose, which is to protect humanity and make humanity flourish. They're seeing the Space Marines as they've lost their ways, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like, this is our chance to discipline them and show them how it should be. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say they went too far because they never really gave the Brazen Drakes a chance. They're just like, you guys are chaos. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just showed up and punched them in the face.
Pretty much.
Didn't even let them explain.
Even the Sister of Silence that was there was like, whoa, what is going on here? What did I walk into?
An entire chapter executed just like that.
Well, yeah, because, like, this was the starting point for, like, a whole war.
Oh, yeah. Like a civil war that...
Yeah.
Well...
I wouldn't say civil, but, like...
No. Because, like, the Adeptus Custodes are tough, but at the end of the day, their mission is to protect the Emperor. So it's one of those moments of, like, what are you going to do to the Space Marines? Like, there's entire legions of them now because of the Primaris.
I mean, kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
That's how grimdark the 40K world is.
Hopefully they bring that grim darkness back.
Yeah.
If not, like, the next edition's going to be showing them, like, all buddies holding hands running across the
Warhammer
screen.
Adventures.
Yeah. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Did we answer his last question? Yeah, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what happens.
This is the Sound Alchemist.
Gershwin.
We're out of here.
Oh, I used to put my freedom first in any